Good day and welcome to Studio V. I am BK Sidhu. The topic of today's discussion is how can you source for funding to develop content. Content is king, as they always say, and innovation is very important. Without innovation, you can't drive content. Content is very much needed here in Malaysia. Innovation is only the first step. Packaging and marketing the content is extremely important. But before all that, you need to have a pool of talent. Do we have that? We are fortunate to have with us a distinguished panelist who can help you realize your dream. On my extreme left is Mr. Wayne Lim, our panelist. He's the CEO and publisher of Malaysia SMETM, which provides enough information for the SME industry. Then we have Datuk Badlisham Ghazali, the Chief Executive Officer of Multimedia Development Corporation, or MDeC in short. Further down, we have Mr. Husni Salleh, the Chief Executive Officer of Malaysia Venture Capital Management, Malaysia Berhad, MaVCap in short. The role of MaVCap is to nurture technology. They give out money to people who have the right talent to develop content. Welcome, gentlemen, to Studio V.
Thank you.
Let us first begin with the first question. Datuk,
Yes.
in terms of knowledge workforce, the right talent makes all the difference. Do we have it in Malaysia?
Well, I'm an eternal optimist. Definitely, if you look at 27 million and you divide it by, what is available in the professional ranks, we do have the pool. We do have the institutions, we do have the universities and colleges. I think when we are migrating towards a knowledge-based work in itself, I think there's a slight lag in terms of our ability to actually produce the right talent. So I think in general the pool is there. Yeah? What is needed, I think, is to ensure that the industry itself, agencies also like MaVCap and MDeC, who's promoting the multimedia super corridor, actually works hand in hand with institutions and also associations as well to ensure that there's the right types of training that the industry actually wants. So, in broad terms, yes, there is a pool of talent. The question is, if it's today, let me put it another way. In the multimedia super corridor, there's still a shortage of about 2,000 workforce. We're now about almost over 80,000. The industry in the multimedia super corridor is still looking for approximately 2,000 people to fill positions that we have created. So I'll leave that open question for the other panelists.
Mr. Husni, what do you think?
I think in Malaysia there's a lot of talents. I suppose that because we also come from a creative background as well. Many of us been exposed to a lot of movies and animation, cartoons and all that since the beginning, since we were small. And the thing is that now, what we need right now is a lot of collaboration between agencies and also the entrepreneurs themselves. For us to fund, for MaVCap, basically to find the right companies to back. At the moment, funding side, I don't see there's any that much of a problem because we have got a lot of funding sources, be it from grant, venture capital, and also other investment from other companies as well, in terms of joint ventures. We've seen a lot of companies from outside, animation companies, content companies coming to do a joint venture with the local parties. Yeah? And we are exploring our investment opportunities in that.
Coming from the SME perspective, taking into cue what Encik Husni said, need collaboration. How active are these SMEs in sourcing out for funding, or is there really innovation out there?
Okay. Majority of establishment in Malaysia, 99% are SMEs. And SMEs contributed to about over 50% of workforce. If you ask me whether we have talent, I think the answer is yes. But do we have enough talents? That is something that we have to look at. Yeah. Right? So, but it all depends on which sector of SMEs are we looking at. Because if you're talking about factory workers, what sort of talents are we looking at here? Okay, give some examples. I think just to quote the talents out there. We have successful SME around who managed to turn their business around or making the business very popular. Like just now Datuk was holding a cup of coffee from a foreign brand. If you look locally, I'm sure every one of you realize that you have this Old Town White coffee who has over the past short years, shoot over like they have what, more than 100 outlets. Those are talents, right? They are innovative, they know what to do, right? So, but what is lacking among the SMEs, obviously you have rightly mentioned the funds. As much as the SME, they want to develop their workers, right, on the human resources development, they are lacking the funds, right? The government has been very, very active in promoting, okay, the development of SMEs, allocating a lot of funds, grants, and programs to help the SMEs. But for my own experience in my business, I deal with a lot of SMEs. I see a lot of SMEs, I talk to them. Most of the time is they ask me. They don't ask me for money because I don't have money. They ask me where to get money. Okay, so in another way, is actually they are not that resourceful in a way. Most of the SME, they are too tied up. They are too tied up of managing their business, day-to-day operation, looking for business. So they are not that. They don't have time or they don't have enough resources to help them to say, okay, where can they look out for funds that the government has been supporting, right, in terms of training. In fact, SMDeC is giving up, like SMDeC has over 50, 60 training institutions. They provide only 10%. The SME just need to pay 10% to enroll themselves to the training classes and all that. So that is my reply to the question.
So that's what he's saying. We need more collaboration. How can we all collaborate? I've got a few minutes here. How can we all come? Maybe Datuk, you want to say?
I think it's obvious. I mean, if you look at it in general, yeah, the government and government agencies are providing funding, right? They're providing infrastructure. They're providing things like an enabling environment, etc., and etc., right? Perhaps what is slightly missing that can be enhanced is actually the collaboration with the association and also the media as well in trying to bring the SMEs in understanding what the stacks are, yeah, funding, education, infrastructure, ecosystem, right? Because as much as is been put out there, and you mentioned SMDeC, you mentioned, MaTrade is another organization that helps as well. MDeC has got funds. We've got tons of funds, yeah. But maybe clarity in the alignment of the stacks is one. Number two also is attitude. Yeah, really working with the media and association, that will help as well. Because when we run networking sessions, yeah, that allows people to actually collaborate, etc., we find that the attendance is quite low. Yeah. Over the weekend, we hosted the Indus entrepreneurs here and actually invited Malaysian entrepreneurs to also come. And to be honest, I'm still not happy with the amount of Malaysian SMEs that took advantage, yeah, of such enabling environment that we provided. And the attitude is, well, it was the weekend, I've got something to do, weddings to go to. But when you listen to those who came, yeah, it says, I spent at least once a day in a week actually trying to network. And I say, you are the people who are actually striving, this is the Malaysian side, to actually try to take advantage of what's available there. Because you know what, the government is not going to spoon feed you, right? It's put on the table for you to look at. And the other thing is, it's not a given. It's not a given that this is for you, because you have to prove it yourself as well. Now you look at the entrepreneurs that came, yeah, those that came from abroad, and they say, my God, Malaysia is such a bountiful country. Where we came from, we have to struggle. Yeah, we have to struggle with 20 rejections, and even then, yeah, the 21st may not be accepted. But in Malaysia, all these environments are put in place. So I think we have to cross that chasm. I'm not bashing the SMEs. I'm saying that we can do definitely a better job in the media and association side.
Excellent. We take a break, a small break now. We'll be back. We'll be right back.